What's up guys, Fire here, and today we're going to be talking about patch 4.6. So we're going to be doing a brief overview and then kind of a rundown and analysis of the changes in 4.6. Now seeing as I got such a good reaction from you guys from doing the 4.5, the new style way of doing it, I decided to stick with that and I'm going to do it like this for pretty much every patch. Now I'll also be doing another Feenix giveaway at the end of this video, and I'll also be announcing the winners from last time's competition, so make sure you stick around until the end. Now 4.6 doesn't have as many changes as 4.5 did. 4.5 had a few champion overhauls, items, and summoner spells. 4.6 is more about a few tweaks rather than big changes, but it's still going to have an effect on your games. So the whole point of this video is that you can watch this, understand the changes, and be prepared for it when you go into your game, so nothing is going to catch you off guard. So jumping straight into the changes, we'll skip over Aatrox because it's just a bug fix. The bug, if you weren't aware, was when he would heal after 2 attacks instead of 3. It kind of caused some controversy in the LCS as well, so that's finally been fixed. So the first big change is to Gragas, and they've removed the movement speed slow when he's channeling his W. This will kind of have a small impact, but it's not really going to fix his problems. So the second change is just his E, his body slam, is now going to have a flat 12-second cooldown across instead of a higher at low ranks and then getting down to 12 seconds at max rank. Again, this isn't really going to fix the problems with Gragas. Right now he's in the middle between a mage, a damage source, and a tank, and he doesn't really do either of those jobs very well. A kind of a good example is Lulu. Lulu does a lot of damage, but she also has her ultimate and shields for the tanky side, so Gragas is kind of a crappier version of Lulu right now. So moving back to Kassadin, now they've nerfed him into the ground last patch in 4.5, they're kind of going to bring him back up slowly. So the first two basic buffs are his movement speed's up to 350 and his mana per level is up to 70 from 45. So his mana per level is actually pretty good, and that's going to mean he won't run out of mana as much in lane. The really big change though is to his Q, and the reason I said it's a big change is because the AP ratio is going from 0.3 to 0.8. Now that's over double, that's 0.5 ability power ratio added on, and that's going to mean that later into the game when he's got a lot of items, he's actually going to be doing a lot more damage. Finally, they have tweaked his Netherblade, his W as well, and they've just added a bit of damage on at the later ranks. Now, you don't really tend to max your W first or second, it tends to be the last one you max, so this isn't going to have a huge impact in games. So there was a bug fix to Maokai in this patch as well, and it wasn't actually a game-changing bug or anything like that, it was just that the tooltip wasn't displaying the real slow value, that it was actually slowing people. Now the next big champion change is to Rengar, and remember Rengar got reworked in patch 4.5, and to say he's underwhelming at the moment is probably an understatement. Right now he doesn't really fit any kind of assassin or tank niche that he needs to. So the way they're going to try and fix this is by adding damage onto his Q. The attack animation speed is interesting because it's something that Riot don't normally tend to fix, but what it means is that when you activate your Q, you actually get that Q off quicker than you would before. The bonus damage is being increased by quite a lot. At rank 5, you're actually going to be doing 150% more than you would have done in patch 4.5, so that's quite a big change. And then the bonus damage also scales better with your empowered savagery, so when you use your ferocity to do Q as well, you'll be doing more damage. So in 4.5 they added a new thing to Rengar as well with his ultimate, so it would alert people around him, and in this patch they've kind of tweaked it slightly, so it still alerts them but only if they'd be in vision anyway. So if you're right in front of someone then it will alert you that you're there, but if you're in the fog of war then they're not going to get an alert anymore. These changes again don't really fix what's wrong with Rengar. Rengar right now is just a worse version of other champions. That's very much how the balance game in League of Legends works. So really to find out how you'd fix Rengar, you have to say, well, why would I pick Rengar over something else? Now Rengar in the top lane is too easily beat, but in the jungle he's actually pretty good. His E being a skill shot, longer range, and higher slow as well means that you can actually run into lane and slow someone from quite a distance away, and the Feral Flare buff means that he can just farm all day. So the next change was to Rumble, and these changes are actually pretty big, so if you're a good Rumble player then you're really going to benefit from these changes. The hardest part to playing Rumble is managing his danger zone, because when you obviously in your danger zone you have to be really careful about your skill management and which skills you actually want to use. Now with this patch they've doubled the shield bonus and the movement speed bonus on his W, his shield, and also on the E the damage bonus has been doubled and the slow bonus has been doubled. So these are really big changes, and it basically means that if you put the time into learning Rumble and getting really good with Rumble, then these changes are really good for you. But if you're not a very good Rumble player, then it's not really going to have any effect on how you play Rumble. Finally, Twitch has got his visual upgrade in this patch. Now, Twitch is awesome at the moment. I really enjoy playing him, and that's kind of because he's a different style of AD. Now, he's not your typical AD carry. He's kind of like an assassin. If you ever watch the pro players playing right now, they kind of engage with him. They're stealth in, pick the squishy target, and then try and assassinate them before the fight. Now, having this kind of assassin AD is really interesting. It kind of spices up the lane a little bit, and he's still pretty strong in lane as well. So with this visual upgrade, obviously people, because it's new, people tend to want to play it. So you'll be seeing a lot more of Twitch. And the biggest thing I can say to you is make sure you buy a pink ward, because when a team fight is about to break out, if people catch on that they're supposed to stealth in and assassinate, you just drop that pink ward, you instantly kill him and you win the fight. The only other thing to really mention about the changes, apart from the quality of life changes, is this ult's now called Rat-a-tat-tat. Now that sounds ridiculous, but it's actually pretty cool, and I can't wait to hear some of the casters say that in the LCS. Alright, so the two other big changes that aren't champions are Wriggle's Lantern and the Summoner spell Heal. So Wriggle's Lantern, first of all, is really good at the moment. It's kind of dominating solo queue because champions can just farm in the jungle, then they come out, they're really strong, and they carry the game. And honestly, we're just not used to junglers being able to carry. Right now, it's a little bit silly because anyone can probably use that Feral Flare and anyone can get really strong, and that's a really dangerous thing to have in solo queue because teams can't finish the game before they upgrade into the Feral Flare and start killing everyone. So they're making it cost more. They're bringing the cost to 1800 from 1650, so 150 gold's not massive, but the bigger change is you now need 5 more large monster kills to transform it. The advantage of nerfing it this way is that the champions who really benefit from it will still get it, like Yi, Shyvana, because they're going to be farming quickly anyway, but those people who don't really farm but still bought it probably don't want to buy it anymore. Now the final change is to heal, and I actually don't want to talk about this too much because I'm going to be releasing a video in 2 days which is about all the summoner spells and which you should be taking in which situations and what's best. But what I will say in this video is that running double heal in bot lane is not as effective right now unless you use it in the proper way. Now when me and my support Vale are playing in Absolute Zero, our rank 5s team, we tend to only use one heal at a time, and we use it more as an aggressive tool or a defensive tool, so we don't really use it when we're completely boned and have to use both of them. Now it sounds kind of strange, but this is just the way we use our heals. Now if you, on the other hand, want to use both your heals in a situation where you're fighting and it's kind of neck and neck, then this nerf is actually going to hit you pretty hard. Now playing it the way that I play it with Vale isn't going to hit us as hard, so we might still run the double heal, but in solo queue I'd probably recommend you run heal on that AD and then exhaust on the support. Now exhaust is really strong because of the range increase, and the exhaust amount you actually reduce the damage reduction in 4.5, so running those two together is probably the safest combination, but I will release a video very shortly covering that whole topic in depth. So the winner of the bundle from the last 100k giveaway is Grayson Gordon, so congratulations to you. And the winners of the RP and the Learn the League ebook I'm still trying to contact. So if you haven't checked your YouTube messages in a while, or you don't have your Google Plus enabled to receive messages, then please go and check your inbox because I may have messaged you, I just haven't had anything back. Now if those people don't get back to me in a couple of days, then what I'll do is I'll just go back to the last video and I'll pick 2 new winners from those comments. So just hang tight guys, and I will announce the winners on Facebook as soon as they've got back to me. So as most of you know by now, I am partnered with Feenix, and this means that I can get some of their gear to give away to you guys. Now this time we're going to be doing it on Twitter, so I'll be giving away their Autore, their keyboard, which is awesome. I've actually been using one of these myself for about 3 months, and it's honestly one of the best keyboards I've ever used. Now to win, all you need to do is go over to Twitter, you need to follow me and Feenix, and then just tweet using the hashtag Feenix5. I'm going to put all that information in the description so you know exactly what you have to do. Good luck to everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.